Yo, what is up, guys? We're back with a new what if, and this what if is what if Naruto had Kyoraku'S, or was Kyoraku'S reincarnation. Now, without further ado, let's get right into the what if. We go right to actually Kyoraku'S perspective. Since this is a reincarnation what if, we need to know how Kyoraku'S reincarnated. Now, Kyoraku, in this timeline in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, when he was fighting Lily, I think, in the manga, where he uses his Bankai and all. In this timeline, he actually does not survive, and this is how he is reincarnated inside of Naruto. Now, we'll start the what if. In this timeline, Naruto was actually born a little earlier, like maybe 6 years earlier, since just Kyoraku's character itself is like way better than someone who's way a little older, and I have some good ideas for the what if in general. If you guys just, like, do not know Kyoraku's abilities, it's basically him just playing games. Like, for example, Takioni. It's if you're higher than your opponents in like elevation, then you can have a more chance of hitting them, or it's like a very high chance, like 90% chance. Or Kagioni, which you can literally stab a shadow, like your enemy will be standing in a shadow, and you can just stab your shadow, like your sword, into the shadow, and it'll stab them. They can dodge if they know your abilities, but that's just kind of OP already. Now, and or for example, he can literally turn it. He can like merge into shadows. Now I know this kind of sounds a little OP, but I'll try to like make it balance out. Now, basically, in his timeline, Naruto will actually not be the son of Minato and Kushina. This time, he'll be like parent. He'll be children to the a clan. It's not the Kyoraku clan, but something similar to it in the outside the village. Now, this clan was just kind of like a modest clan. They weren't like a rich clan, but they weren't like a poor clan either. They're like in the middle. Uh, and they never really got into wars, and they never really participated in the clan wars. And the only time they even participated in war was when the Senju asked for help against the Uchiha. Now we go to flashback where Hashirama and Madara are signing, like just shook their hands, basically agreeing to an alliance. Now Hashirama would basically walk into a bar to see this guy that looked like Kyoraku, but it wasn't Kyoraku. It was it was Naruto's like grandparents, or grand whatever, great grandparents or grandparents. It's just his grandpa or grandfather. Now, Hashirama would actually tell him that he thinks Madara is gonna break the deal. He thinks he's gonna leave the village, something like that. He's just gonna go rogue again. Now, in this timeline, uh, Naruto's grandfather was, since they knew each other, they were working together to at least try to stop Madara in general. So instead of it being Hashirama versus Madara, it's Hashirama and Naruto's grandfather, who I'll just call damn, I actually don't know a name. Just call him Naruto's grandfather. Yeah. Now, basically, Naruto and Hashirama would fight Madara, and it would be more of a easy win for Hashirama and Naruto's grandfather. Now, this would basically spark an alliance between the Senju and the uh, let's just call it the Naruto's family. Let's call it the Kyoraku family, alright? Since he is the reincarnation of Kyoraku, why not have his last name as Kyoraku, because that is his last name, Shinsui Kyoraku. That's his full name. Now, when we actually go to the what if itself, like the present time, Naruto would, like I said, would be born 6 years earlier, and uh, Kushina and Minato would pretty much have their own kid, basically Menma, like in the movie filler. I think it's a movie. Maybe it's an episode filler. But basically, Naruto would grow up, like going to the academy, like like Itachi. Um, and it would kind of be chill. They would both be prodigies. They would both know jutsus, and but the thing is with Naruto, he didn't really he wasn't really good friends with his older brother, who was around 25 years old. That's a good age. And he was around like 8 years old. So he didn't really like his brother that much. Uh, his until like his brother got married, and technically I think it's a sister-in-law. I might be dumb, but kind of like the manga and the Bleach. Kyoraku and his brother never really liked each other until the Issei family, not the Issei family. His older brother's wife, tried to fix the relationship, and that's basically what happened in this timeline. But like I said, his brother would still die from a disease, but it won't be like the Issei family curse. If you guys don't know what that is, if you guys haven't read the Bleach manga, like the Thousand Year Blood War arc, I suggest you give it a read. It's a very good manga. You know, just just do it, okay? Just do it. Click off this video, go read it right now. Just kidding though. After this, Naruto would just be start to feel the burden of people giving him responsibilities, kind of like Kyoraku. Now Naruto would grow up around 10 years old, and he would graduate the academy. Now Itachi would graduate around the same time, and even though it was like 7 years old, I know you're calling cap on it, but that's a pretty appropriate age. Now, um, Itachi and Shisui would one day be walking with Naruto, and they'd tell him that, "Did you hear what happened with your sister-in-law?" Naruto would say, "What?" Uh, they would say, she got executed. And I said, For what? For what? Basically, kind of like in the Bleach manga. Uh, I actually don't know her name, but from the Issei family, because she stole their heirloom, which was only meant for the head of the clan, and she's not the head of the clan head. So yeah, that's why she got executed by the Sokyoku, I think. Um, but after this, let's just say in this timeline, she tried to steal the scroll of sealing, because that's like pretty similar techniques, and they can never find it again. After this, everyone was pretty shocked. Not everyone. Naruto was pretty shocked at this. Why? But let's just yeah, that would pretty much be the end of that flashback. Not flashback, but present time. Naruto would pretty much become a ninja, and his team would be Naruto, Itachi, and the random ninja, the one that was always like jealous of Itachi. Not jealous, but like wanted to be better. Um, After this, Naruto, Itachi, and that fodder ninja would go on that cat mission to capture the cat. And they would pretty much do the mission pretty similarly, but every time the cat would try to run away, Naruto would just merge with the shadows, or just a technique he learned from someone in his mind. From two people actually from his mind, not just one. But he doesn't even know their name yet. He only knows some techniques, so he hasn't even awakened his Shikai yet. If you guys don't know what Shikai is, it's like a first form of release for your power, kind of like KCM 1. There's KCM 2, so just think of it like that. Naruto would then pretty much do missions with his team until one day they'd be sent saying that there was an intruder that passed the barriers. They would then walk up to see none other than a masked man, a masked individual. The fodder ninja would be arrogant and run at the ninja, and they would try to tell him this, no, because they can literally sense the power in that person. Now after this, Obito, or what they thought was Madara, or he was pretending to be Madara. Obito literally cut down his friend. Not literally, he actually cut down his friend, killing their friend pretty much. Now, after this, Naruto would, get pretty mad and awaken his Shikai. He'd be like, actually, it's like a very long incantation for Kyoraku'S Shikai, but the Zanpakuto name is Katenkyo Tetsu. It's Flower Wind, Flower Rage, something like that. And then it says Katenkyo Tetsu, or Katenkyo Kutsu, my pronunciation. But basically, Naruto would just freshly awaken his Zanpakuto, would try to stab the shadow. But when he do it, it would go through him. Naruto was actually confused why the sword went through him. until he would see like later on, uh, Obito would pretty much make a whirlpool and kind of escape since he's already been like seen. He has to get out of there. He didn't want people to find out who he actually is, or if he is actually Madara to even start with, since it's not even time for his like plans yet. Um, Now, the Nine Tails attack, if you guys are wondering, would still pretty much go the same, with Menma becoming the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails, and Menma would be around 4 years old, and Naruto and Itachi are 10 because they're 6 years older. So now, after the death of their teammate, they would actually start rising through the ranks, becoming Chunin and Jonin pretty fast. After completing the Chunin exams in the village of the Clouds, the Hidden Cloud Village. After this event would take place, and Naruto and Itachi would become Jonin finally after 2 years of training their butt off. They would finally get Jonin. Now, when this event would take place, due to the need for Anbu members, they would actually be recruited into the Anbu. But and yeah, and they would do hard missions like S-rank missions and assassination missions, and Naruto would get more and more powerful with his Zanpakuto, getting more abilities like Bushigani, I think its name. It's basically sending a wind attack with your sword, and mastering Kageoni and Takeoni. Now, after this, Naruto would pretty much be kind of chill. He would stop, not stop learning, but he would start to learn more of the jutsus, and his two Zanpakuto would understand. And if you guys actually don't know the Zanpakuto, bro, what are you doing here? Read Bleach. Go. Nah, just kidding. But basically, after this, like after they become Anbus, they start doing missions. They start training more. They have less and less time, and more time on the job or on the Anbu. Now, they're around 12 years old when they become Anbu, and about 6 months later, Shisui would tell them, Shisui, Naruto, and Itachi would be in the Hokage's office, and the elders would be explaining about the rise in tension between the Uchiha and the village, and how everyone is really ostracizing the Uchiha clan for quote unquote being behind the Nine Tails attack. Now, everyone know that the Uchiha clan couldn't be behind the attack since none of them have Mangekyou Sharingan, or that's what they thought. After this, Naruto, Shisui, and Itachi would be tasked with trying to find a way to lower the tensions between the Uchiha and the village. Shisui would recommend that he could use his genjutsu on them, Kotsu Matsukami. Danzo in his mind was wondering a way for him to steal his Sharingan, but he wasn't gonna say that out loud. He needed time to plan to get that Sharingan so he can become Hokage. Now, after this, Naruto, Itachi, and Shisui would spend this next 6 months spying on the Uchiha clan, going to their meetings, and trying to find a way to actually break through their ranks and basically stop the coup d'etat in general. But all this time, they couldn't even do anything. Uh, and it's like they didn't really have much of a chance. They couldn't stop Uchiha's long cycle of hatred. And Naruto or Menma wasn't grown up because he's the child of prophecy. Or I know he is. So basically, Naruto, Shisui, and Itachi would have no other chance, no other way but to slaughter the Uchiha clan. Not to slaughter them, but for Shisui would use his Kotsumatsu Kami. Now, Shisui would tell them that he's gonna go real quick and use it, and they should be finished. Now, Naruto and Itachi says, "We'll wait for you by our usually meeting place," which was across the forest, where basically across the whole forest, where Shisui would later get ambushed by the Roots and Danzo himself. Danzo would unfortunately steal Shisui's right eye, and Shisui would get poisoned, like in canon. Now, basically, Shisui would escape towards the forest and using the Susanoo. And he would meet up with Itachi and Naruto. Shisui would still fall off the cliff, and uh, Naruto would get emotional empowerment, while Itachi got the Mangekyo Sharingan. Now, after this event would take place, Naruto and Itachi would be called down by Danzo. They'd meet up by the Uchiha hideout, one of the Uchiha hideouts, and Danzo would tell him, "No, I wanted to meet you here to give you two choices. You can either, number one, side with me and slaughter the Uchiha clan. You can keep your little brother alive, Itachi. Or you can let them start the coup d'etat and everyone dies. Now, time to choose." After this, Naruto would let Itachi choose, since it's not even his business in the first place, since, the Uchiha aren't even his family, and he's the last one of his clan, and the clans aren't even allied with the Uchiha clan. So Itachi would still choose to murder the Uchiha clan, like in canon. Itachi would tell Naruto that he should stay in the village, and keep an eye on everything while he's gone. And he asked right before Itachi leaves if he can take care of Sasuke before body flickering out of the eye's view. Naruto would yet feel more weighed down by the responsibilities. Number one, the responsibility given by his brother before he died, responsibility given by his sister-in-law before she died, and now, finally, the responsibility before Itachi leaving the village. Now Naruto is like quite the animasic person. I know I'm just bringing up random words, but this is the word that really just came to mind. Naruto would spend the next maybe 2 years looking after Sasuke, uh, like secretly funding him. Not that the Hokage didn't, but he's the one that argued for Sasuke to basically stay at his clan's house, pretty much, where he basically stayed in the canon, his parents' house, since he didn't want Sasuke to be removed from his origins. No, basically, wait, why am I saying no? Jeez, God, my language. Basically, Naruto would spend the next few years training up and doing a lot of missions for the Anbu. He would get not the world record, but like the record holder for how many missions he's done. Just because, he has almost nothing to do. His life is boring, he didn't settle down with anyone. And he's around 17, I think. Not 17, it's like almost the start of Naruto, so yeah, 17 is 17, maybe 18, maybe 19. So 17 and 19. I'm gonna say 19. Naruto would then be given Anbu captain, the head of all the Anbus, and he'd walk in just like Kyoraku did walked in, and he'd walk in on a fight happening between Anbu and another Anbu, because of a mission. He says, "Hey, I'm the head captain. No more fighting." After this, everyone calmed down, and basically Naruto would spend the next 2 years leading the Anbu as captain. And one day, when he was finished doing one of his missions with his team, he would be summoned by the third Hokage, or Hiruzen, who would then walk in and say, "Oh, hey old man, what you need?" Hiruzen, he'd be on the balcony, on the Hokage's tower or the roof, and Hiruzen would tell them that the new teams are starting and the new generation are becoming ninja. The new generations of students are graduating to become ninja. Naruto says, "Yeah, I heard. So what does that have to include with me?" Hiruzen would say, "I want you to be their sensei, be one like Team 7 sensei, or one of the team sensei." He didn't say which team yet. And Naruto says, "You think I'm up for the job, old man?" Hiruzen say, "If I think you're a good, successor for you to be Hokage, then of course I think you can be their sensei." Naruto would be shocked. The Hiruzen, or the older man, thinks he can be his successor. Like, he's only 19. After this, Naruto would have to grudgingly accept being their sensei, and he asked if he's still going to be the captain of the Anbu squad. Hiruzen would say Kakashi would actually will be taking your place while you be their sensei, but secretly you're still the Anbu captain, but Kakashi will be like the public figure of the Anbu captain now from now on, like the head captain. After this, Naruto would understand and tell the old man that he's fine with being their sensei. After this event would take place, Naruto would head over to with Hiruzen to basically everyone at their house. First going to Sasuke's, then meeting Sakura's parents, and seeing basically Sasuke's house wouldn't be that small apartment, or not apartment, but like it wouldn't be that apartment. It'd be his parents' house. Sakura would still live here with the parents, since I don't see how Naruto being Kyoraku'S reincarnation would change anything about Sakura. And they'd head to Menma's house. Now Menma's house would pretty much look like Naruto in canon, and Naruto and Menma, basically, my bad, would still kind of be like Naruto in canon, being kind of like a goofball. But like Kyoraku knows he's gonna basically whip them into shape and be great ninjas. After Hiruzen and Naruto would not meet the ninja, but basically see or guess their personalities and meet Sakura's parents. Sasuke and Naruto don't really have any. And Naruto, I keep getting Naruto and Menma mixed up. Naruto, like Kyoraku'S reincarnation Naruto, would head home to his quite modest clan house. He would walk in and basically get changed into like his sleeping clothes or sleeping garments, and he would head to sleep. Not being able to get much sleep, but after around 2 a.m. he would fall asleep. He would wake up the next day around 8 a.m. and he would go to the academy, and he'd walk in and he would raise his hands, Team 7, I'm your new Jonin leader, or Jonin sensei. After this, Menma, Sasuke, and Sakura would walk down, and they would walk out with Naruto. Naruto would walk them up to the roof, and they'd sit down. Naruto would say, "Hey, I'm Naruto Kyoraku. My likes, training and teaching the new generation. My dislikes, more responsibilities. And another like I have is I like really sleeping a lot. I like also drink a lot of sake, but you don't really need to know that." After this, Naruto would say, "You should introduce yourself. It's not really polite." After this, Sakura would still have her similar goal of being a fangirl, but don't worry, that'll change in this What If. Sasuke would still have his emo goal, but it'll be a little less emo, like a little less emo. Like it's in the decimal sizes of how little less emo he'll be. Menma would scream out that he's gonna be the Hokage, and that he basically says what Naruto canon says for his likes, goals, and dislikes, and who he is. After this, Naruto would say, "Interesting. Tomorrow, meet me at training ground number 7. We're gonna start our training regimen, and let's just be ready to be trained to the bone. Uh, you're gonna be whipped into shape." After this, everyone Naruto would use Ryatsu into his voice to make it seem more scary and more not demonizing but more intimidating, and they would basically shiver from the intense pressure, and they would nod their heads, and Naruto would tell him, he can go now. After this would mark the ending of part 1 of What If Naruto Was Kyoraku'S Reincarnation. Now, I know I didn't really use a script for this. I didn't. I just used my head here. And, I know it's not, as organized, but hey, I'm trying my best here. But other than that, guys, peace out.